You guys were in the gene labs. Things are going horribly wrong, as some of you were predicting very quickly as you're watching all of the red flags go up. And what do you know? Those red flags were not just flags. They were actual... Oh no. Oh. And we had left off with these two having been these two little combat guys up here, having been like, we're retrieving organic materials. Organic materials noticed, and it's well, I guess we are organic.
Fuck is the only thing I can really say.
Well, yes. Let's see. All right. So
Door's open, guys.
Yep, the door was open behind you. Siva, you were the one that was, you and the guy that had been watching the elevator. You had just opened that door. And you were the top of the turn order.
And a delay. Go. Come on! I don't think they're friendly anymore.
I don't think they were ever friendly.
Just get in the door. So I can close it in their face. Pretty please. I'm delaying my turn.
Delaying your turn. Okay. That will actually put it at their turn. The enemy's turn. Because that's about how the day goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm tracking my food at the moment. Right, so let's check their shit real fast. I don't know, horribly fast. So they are doom marching up this way. Boop, boop. They're not overtly fast as big boys. So blast.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Your turn.
Blast
got
is
Siri
supposed to
in
hold
your-
the line.
As a reminder, you do have the head researcher there, Siri, in your tail. You
Yep.
did that. You picked her up.
Yep. He's holding her back so she's out of reach of them. And going to fire at the one that's right in front of him.
Alright, and you are using your...
Rotary cannon.
You want to use the rotary cannon and not your thermal lance?
Yes, because I remember them eating energy, the basic drones, and the big ones may be able to do far worse.
Oh, clever boy.
So,
Please rotary cannon then.
Yup. Head the further round aim. Get a +10. I think. No. Yeah, I do because I'm trained in it. Yay. Wow.
That's some hitting. Certainly.
I feel the need to fate point that.
Can't. You succeeded.
Yeah, that's right. Which sucks because I'll only hit it twice. Oh well.
Hey, two better than none. If
Well,
say so
3
myself.
technically.
Well, if you remember what I told you, you're
Yeah,
supposed
pen
to have
stacks.
like all of that stacks.
Nah. So
So that's
22
16.
pen 9.
Yes, indeed. So 22.9. That deals. All right. Which one were you shooting?
The one directly in front of me, so I had point blank.
17's a arm hit, right?
17? I believe so.
Uh,
I just realized I never
yes,
pulled up my old
right
hit.
arm.
I usually keep a hit chart
Look at-
somewhere.
You can look at any of the character sheets, the armor and defense section.
That's right. That's why I stopped doing that. Yes, that is right arm, I believe.
Yep.
Yes. He's got 6 of those. You put some rounds into his arms, you got blood. So they're not indestructible. Of course, you were also using a rotary cannon, so that helps.
As after he finishes his volley, he's like, "Fall back. I will cover the rear."
Anything else for your turn?
That was my turn.
Excellent. So Silco's going to say for reaction wise, "Thank you, Blast. Keep up the good work." And Silco is going to try and use Technomancy here to see if he can get some files before everything goes to shit.
Oh, you want to steal some of the research files?
I really want to, and Siri, I was going to ask to get them if they haven't already, but she's also kind of occupied in the tail. So, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay. Boop, 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 boop.
What I was thinking, Liam, was since I have a tier 2 access currently, I wanted to use the Technomancy ability to up my my status 1 up.
So that's fine. That's cool. That is gooch. I will still need a tech use to try and yank some data.
Submit.
And it is flat because you're kind of on the run here.
I will use my fate point here.
Feel like?
And it got worse. So, just how it goes.
Go ahead and, I'm not going to let you do worse. I'm not going to let you roll infinitely, but I won't let you do worse.
Okay. Tech use. Hey, it's a pass.
Alright. You're not wholly certain what data you're yanking, because this is a yank and go type of op at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have to actually look through it in a minute.
If you need a logic test for me to kind of narrow down my search criteria.
What are you actually looking for?
It's mostly the... I'm really interested in their physiology. So if this person was able to... they didn't get to do the administrator, but they might have taken like images or data on those 4 samples she took. I don't know. Kind of.
You are doing this kind of with this guy near on in arm's reach.
Mm-hmm.
And your character's never been in combat prior to this, I don't believe.
Right. What I was thinking about was moving at the same time, because I have a 4 meter...
Yeah, it's just, I'm saying that it's a little distracting for trying to pick very specific
That's
things
completely
off.
fair.
But
if you need a willpower test, I'm also available to take that.
Well, what I was going to say is there is nothing but research data on this.
Okay. So I guess I'm just...
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is there's no fluff on this computer. You're going to be getting research data one way or the other. It's just a question of what and how much.
Uh,
So,
the if I could use a logic test to quicken the my ability to gather the information, that would be cool. Or security, whichever one you want me to use for that. But that's pretty much what I like. Like I said, that's what I wanted to do for my turn.
well,
If
for your technomancy, it's based off of intelligence, right?
correct,
I'll give you an intelligence test to try and kind of boost yourself, but that's what you're gonna get.
submit. And
Like I said, you're not. You know when you're getting data off this hard drive. It is on this research project, and while there is quite a bit of it, it is all focused on them.
we
So
got
you're not
5
getting-
merit last session, right?
Yeah.
Could I use my 5 merit to do what we do with the fate points and use 5 for select on fate points spirit, and then get a new fate point, but not the threshold for it, so I can re-roll this?
I do believe I put in the merit expenditures the cost of a fate point.
Oh, I didn't
somewhere.
realize. Let's check. Merit, I assume.
I thought I had put, because it was supposed to be 10 points for a fate point. It doesn't look like I wrote that down.
So just the fate point, and then like another 5 on top for the threshold.
No, that was just 10 points. You get a new fate point. It's up to, like, I'm gonna put it up to a 3 limit, but because I'm not gonna be as nice as Matt and let you get like 20 fate points or something.
Well, it's still expensive either way. Like usually the way we do it, Liam, is it's 5 points for the fate point.
I understand how it's usually done, and that's not how I'm doing it.
Okay, that means I just I can't do what I wanted to do, which is fine. All right, sounds good. That's the end of my turn then, I suppose, unless I can move.
Yes, you can move.
All right.
I have included the fate point thing in there. I'll make it look better later on the sheet, but no, I was not going to make it quite the same. Like I warned you guys ahead of time. I'm not doing merit the same way Matt does.
That's completely fine. I didn't know. That's all.
So, as for the data you're pulling off, like I said, it's research data. You're gonna have to take a minute to sort through it because you got
That's fine.
quite a bit.
I'll try to bide my
But
time, as they say.
You do have your full move range.
I only wanted to go half here because I want to be in range of the
Yeah, because you've got, well,
consoles.
just information-wise, that's another research console there.
Oh, I could go. Yeah, they're connected too, aren't they, Liam?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that's fair. Let's get behind Blast.
Yeah, that's kind of why I brought that up.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
like,
I do.
I'm pretty sure you'd like to be not
In their hands, for sure.
Yeah. Siri. All right, she's hanging from your tail. She's just Can I'm just yeah, she's trying to head not on the battlefield at the moment, like that way. She's trying to head that way, and she's gonna try to crawl out of your tail. You gonna stop her?
Rolling a die here.
Because she's very clearly trying to not be here.
Yes, he is stopping her because he was told to keep her in custody.
Okay, well,
And in his mind, the safest spot for her is behind him and not hiding in a hole that she probably has set aside where the drones will get to her.
let's see. Oh yeah, no, that's a strength test for her, and she ain't a strong girl. And she's like, I don't like being on the front line.
You're not. You're on the back.
You're on the front line. That means I'm on the front line.
And you're
And-
behind me.
I'm gonna move on to this guys now. There's these two. They're gonna start moving this way, and they're gonna do the good old-fashioned fire and move maneuvers. Because That's smart.
Are they going to listen to my prior order last round of focus fire?
Yeah.
Good. I won't have to thump them.
Let me just This guy is going to move up here. How much? Actually, yeah, it's within his move range. He's gonna move up here, and then let's see how the three of them do, shall we? Trash. 1 hit, 2 hit. All right. That's about right. I just realized I forgot to set up the sheets for them like I did everything else. Clever boy. So only one of them's doing my. Alright. Small arms fire is not doing much to this guy. I mean, they're just like. Great. They're real pleased with their assault rifles currently. Siva, you were delaying your turn. We have run out of conceivable things for you to delay your turn to.
So with this map,
Yes.
Nobody has. Everybody's
Well, I'll run up
slowly moving
and
back.
grab Siri.
She's in somebody's tail, and he's not letting go.
Let go.
If you try to take her, Blast will let go.
I'm a scientist lady. Get in the hallway I opened, please.
She's like, I didn't want to be there to begin with. I was trying to come this way, but no, big guy's like, no, I gotta be here. She's hurrying backwards and away from there.
Do be careful. They do crawl through the vents.
I've been watching them for months. I know how they move. There's no vents over here.
Okay. Alright. I guess go back.
Cool. We're actually back. The reason I brought that up is we're back to the
Yeah,
turn
we're back
order.
to me waiting and delaying my turn. Alright, people, through the door. Come on.
Alright, well, the combat drones are, yeah, that guy's gonna get his hands on somebody. This guy, is he in range? Yeah, no, he's in range. He's in range. He's in range, baby.
So, I have an inquiry.
Yes.
How do you do attacks of opportunity?
That's a good question.
Because
Normally,
my tail has reach like the glaive.
well, normally the way I do attacks of opportunity is if you don't do an actual disengage, then whoever you're in melee with can get a thwap at you, if you're in range of them. That's usually how I do it. Simple,
Okay.
straightforward, uncomplex.
Fair
You
enough.
know? Actually, my food should be here. Oh, my food's here. Give me a second to go get my food before I commence.
The attempted murder.
Food retrieval complete.
Huzzah.
All right. So, boo 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 boo. As I'm making sure I actually have the shit written down for Doomco security this time, so that when I do this, I actually know what's going to happen to their faces. Because violence is about to happen. Okay. So we're gonna start with While these guys have 6 arms, they're only getting 2 attacks per turn. So he's gonna hit 1 of each. So Blast, you're gonna get hit with 1. He's gonna get hit with 1.
Okay.
As they just start. There's no real finesse to these guys. Boo, 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 boo. This is swift attack. But no other bonuses. Oh, he's gonna hit you. Go ahead and roll a dodge while I'm rolling up the stuff for the other guy.
Yup. Let's see if I can succeed.
He's gonna miss the security guard.
I'm going to fail to dodge, of course.
Alright. That's fine. He's gonna hit 1 of the other 2. And the other one is going to... Okay, so the other 2 are both gonna get hit. Let's see, how many greens did he get? Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's see. Okay, so he has tearing on his thing is the reason I just rolled that twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot to put the thing in, whatever.
Took the 22, right?
Yeah, you're taking 22 pen 10.
Of course.
That is a very hefty amount of damage you pulled.
Oh,
off.
are you adding the strength bonus twice, Liam?
Shouldn't be. Let me double check, because it shouldn't. It did add it twice. Interesting. It's not supposed to, but it added it twice.
So it automatically
It's
adds strength bonus to melee damage.
Okay, it's supposed to be 17.
That's not nearly as bad.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Nope.
That still
Thank you for
dropped me to
pointing that.
half.
Thank you for pointing that out, because I was actually scrolling over the health on it and the damage on it and going, I'm doing math right now, and that doesn't look right. I'm gonna make a test real quick to see if it'll take drop lowest one. Drop low.
DL1.
I'm seeing if it'll work if I just put it on the sheet. Because the other guys are about to get hit. Oh, well.
That was a beautiful drop lowest.
That it did work. It did work. One of your fellow security's dead as a doornail.
This is where I was going to ask. If one of them would take a lethal hit like that, can instead of attacking the Goonies, I rip him back with my tail?
You do not have any reaction-based abilities that you have slapped onto your thing or
Fair
interpose or anything, right?
You could make a talent,
No.
though.
Do you
No,
want?
I do not.
We do have on the site purchases for merit, so do you want to buy interpose or anything like that?
That would kill me, because
I-
interpose lets me take a hit for somebody.
Well, I'm still asking if you wanted to buy anything of that nature to try and do this.
I don't know of anything that would work, so I guess no.
Well, at that point, you would be buying your own new power. The way I would end up having that work is it would actually be based off of your psionics to basically boost your mental speed. if you wanted an extra reaction where you could use it to try and
Pull one of them out.
Yeah.
Then, sure. I will spend the 5 merit to do that.
Make it intrinsic or a talent?
It will take up one of your psionic ability slots, though.
That's fine. I can do that. So I'm assuming it's going to be based on my spirit tree then.
For psionics, it's usually based off of mind, because it is directly your mind, not your spirit, that's acting.
Okay.
Does the fact that he used influence not mean anything, though?
Not for that, no.
Okay.
So influence makes it so that right now you have, what, a 30 for your influence?
I have a
20.
27.
So he's got 27. Normally that means he only has 2 psionic slots, but with influence he has 4 instead.
Yep. And
that's the benefit of using influence as a casting stat. It increases how many abilities you can have.
This is taking up my 3rd because I've got self-refinement up and mental fortress ready.
Yep, which I believe, all told, with your unnatural that you gained as well, you have 8. So you have plenty of slots.
Oh, right. I forgot about the unnatural. Yeah.
So you've got 8. You're solid on that.
So what do we want to call this?
Whatever you like. You could call it like last minute savior or something like. I don't mind. It's from the jaws of defeat. Because that dude's gonna be fucking dead. Like,
totally called Blessing of the Tail.
Honestly, though, 19.
But yeah, I'm going to
actually
try.
Both of them are dead.
Oh, of course.
Because he crit twice. One of them I was just marking off because that's a double hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're both dead. So which one do you want to save?
We'll save whichever one's closer so that I can move him behind me.
All right, and this will require. I'll let you decide if you want to base this off of weapon skill or agility to yank them. Or if you want to use straight up your mind to do it, then it's an influence test.
I'm going to go with agility.
All right. Well, like I said, you got 3 options, come to think of it. It's influence, agility, or weapon skill. So.
Yeah, I'm not using weapon skill considering I only have a 19.
All right. It's just that the reason I bring that up is that is going to link that like permanently to that stat when it comes to like the pull. So depending on what you are planning to increase, I wanted you to know like ahead of time.
I entirely plan on increasing my agility.
Okay. Then you're good.
Because
I just wanted to make sure you knew.
It's going to be important.
Cool. So agility roll then.
Yep. Oh gosh. Here's hoping.
He's a corpse. It's a dead man. So their claws are definitely built for rending metal. There is no question. They don't go through like butter. It's like an industrial machine scraping down a piece of metal when they open up the armor.
Mm-hmm.
It is your turn now.
I'm going to hold until after the scientist gets a chance to move back so that I can back up and shoot.
All right, Silco.
All right, let's move and download. That sounds like the right words to use.
You're about to say move and shoot, but I mean, you're not really shooting. You're computering.
Let's move over there.
Same roll, tech use.
Okay.
I do have an idea of how many times you need to do this to get the full info, by the way.
That's completely fair. Do you want an intelligence test like I did last time, or just a tech use?
If you want to try to boost it, yeah.
Sure. Nice.
You get some extra data off.
Okay.
You're yanking some info. Asiri's now falling back a little bit further. She's just like, I almost want to hide in a locker, but I don't. No, that's not gonna work. Wait a minute, and you're gonna hear her start shuffling through lockers. So, the other guy with you is gonna kind of watch the other two get opened up like tin cans. Actually, wait, you were waiting for Silco to be done, the squishy scientist, yeah? Blast?
No, I was waiting for the two in the room to be done. The dude beside me counting.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna kind of look at this and be like, yeah, I'm not... Yeah, falling back sounds good. Falling back sounds really good. He's still firing, but
I'm gonna, with my delayed turn, help scoop. I'm just gonna use my actions to help give them more movement. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. Well, Silco seems a little bit like he's purposely taking his time falling back out of this room.
Yeah, I'm gonna move everyone a little bit more down the corridor to give room for blast.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Silco, you're about to find yourself getting ushered down as everybody's like, we're leaving. We're not standing here. Why are you still standing here?
Makes sense.
Come on, let's go. Blast, I got the door ready for you.
Good.
Alright. Now that back to my turn again, I'm merely going to
Well,
set...
I'm going to... I got a roll for the alliance, the security guy, just to shoot real quick.
Do the shoots!
Yeah, because he's fallen back, and he's just gonna be shooting on his way.
Do it.
Because
Do it, my
he
guy.
does not. He's not particularly pleased that a couple people he's been training with for a while just died horribly.
Yeah, it's not good.
Let's see how well he does. Oh, yeah, well. That is unfortunate. He's trying, but big guy, he's trying not to shoot you. You know how it is.
Yep.
And he's going to, like, Silk, are you going to start fighting him when he starts pushing you back?
Nope.
Cool. Siva, now you do things.
I'm gonna prep the door for quick close.
Well, after he's out, then it would be my held action before Siva.
Oh, that's right. No, that's fine. Because that means Siva doesn't have to prep an action to close the door if you get through it. Go ahead, move.
So, Blast is going to fall back and cram himself through the doorway as best he can before firing at that one dude he wounded.
Okay, Silco, you're getting shoved up a little bit further as they're like, oh, blast. Oh, big load coming through.
Sorry.
Go do your thing. Actually, did you do a disengage? Because we were just talking about that.
Not if he wants to shoot.
Yeah.
Not if I want to get in the hallway either.
Well,
No,
you have your full agility
move,
bonus twice, or just the
move.
A disengage is a half move.
It's only the full. What?
I think that's bullshit.
I'd be able to back up to here and do nothing if I disengaged.
Hold on. For the disengage, I'll do it as a half action rather than a half move. That way you can still do your full move.
That's fine.
Because I don't like the idea of like you only get half your movement if you disengage. That's kind of defeats the purpose of disengage.
But I do have something that I can do as I'm moving back.
What's that?
So I'm backing up. I'm grabbing the body beside me, and my tail's grabbing the one that's a bit further away.
Oh, so you're going to do that instead of firing, then? Or...
Yes, I'm grabbing them and falling back to deny the biomass.
Alright. So you're bringing your dead. That actually is very nice of you on a different level, too. Siva, roll me a tech use. No, it's actually security, because you probably want to lock this bitch.
I just want to close it, which should just be a button.
Oh yeah, closing it's just a button. Keeping it closed is the question.
Let's hope. Actually, plus 20. Ugh. I'll give it another go.
You re-rolling?
Yeah. I'll use my other half action for an attempt. Yay! Shunk conk. Whew!
Alright, give me 3 seconds to get you a wall. As you shut that damn door. As you're like, ha 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 ha, no.
I'm gonna radio to, Lieutenant.
Yeah?
Hey, Lieutenant.
There is kind of a long pause. You do hear the sound of the door. You passed your security? Yeah, you hear the sound of the door denying somebody access on the other side. As you're hearing the access denied, the lieutenant's voice comes over with just a busy, and you can hear gunfire in the background.
So, because I'm particularly not wanting to deal with these right now,
Yes.
I'm going to pull out my thermal lamps, charge the halberd,
Mm-hmm.
and weld the door shut.
Okay.
Or I'm going to tack it, so that I can cut through it later to open it. But it's just that because we may need to get back in.
I was only going to ask for a tech use. Also, there's a door on the other side, as a reminder.
Oh, right.
You could tag it. It's like,
Yeah, I'll roll my tech use.
Access denied.
Can I try to see if I can actually keep these guys alive? Since it's only been like a turn.
Oh no, they're dead.
They're dead. Okay. No.
Oh no,
saving.
they're heavy. They're heavy over their health.
All right.
One of them, he basically brought back a torso that's barely holding onto its legs.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Maybe you can do some Medicaid on Blast,
He's bleeding.
He's got a massive rend across his chest.
Yeah, Blast is bleeding. Like,
you never seem to, you keep getting holes in your armor. Hold still.
That is half of my job.
At least this one wasn't the face.
And I mean, half of Blast's job is heavy weapons guy. The other half is face tank.
Would you like a Medicaid to see what I can do?
Yeah, I don't know my Medicaid, my friend.
I do believe I get a plus 20 from the suit, and the little Medicaid box is a plus 10 total. Or plus
and your drone.
There is
his thing, yeah.
Yeah, 5
total
plus
30.
4.
Yay, I'm back at full.
The wonders of modern medicine and science.
Asiri goes, I have a gun!
Blast is just going to look over. What type of gun does she have?
Cracking open the locker, it looks like she's cracked open a quarantine arms locker. It's a flamethrower.
Okay.
Nice.
You've armed yourself. Well, nice.
Well, oh, the door's closed.
Blast is just going to look at Siri and be like, "Do you know how to use that?"
It's a flamethrower. You point it down the hallway, and you just hope there's nobody between you and the target.
It's just going to lean down. If I'm between you and the target, I will fight back.
All right, Siri.
She'll-
You've been here more than we have. What other exits do they have available to them before
Hey.
Blast is just going to begin moving.
Well, I mean, here? None.
It's just
well,
this one.
sort of none.
That's
the
not
door on the-
reassuring.
Oh, that reminds me. She's like, I need to do something. Do. As she walks over here to this panel,
Yeah.
and very quickly initiates a lockdown on the research room. She's just like, there we go. Now they're not coming through the doors.
How important is the
Period.
computer, Siri?
Which one?
When you
As-
just that one.
Body's there. Well, I mean, it controls quite a bit of the quarantine systems and the like.
What about this door?
That door? I don't have. Well, let's see. She'll kind of look it over. She's like, and open.
Saves me time to having to crack it. All right,
Well,
so
if you wanted to open it, you could have just asked me. I have my ID on me.
well, you were in the other room and we were trapped back here earlier. So
Well, yeah, when the initial quarantine goes down, you have to. But this computer controls the quarantine for this area. It won't let us up. Only the people up can approve access through the elevator,
Yeah.
which means that they. Oh, that means that they access to the main computer system, which is a little not
so
good.
I have a plan, but I want you to run a little brainstorm with me. And everyone think they could do that?
Well, I am brains.
Okay. So we can agree that these guys are a little durable, yes?
That would be
I
an
mean-
understatement.
Oh, they're
Definitely not little.
extremely. They're extremely heat proof too. You know the worker drones. I took a plasma torch to one's arms to try and see what it takes to lop those off, and it took me 5 minutes to cut it off.
Mm.
Mind you, it was just a plasma torch. It's not like I was using a thermal lance or something. But the combat drones, I would assume, are a lot more tough than that. I never actually got to test their energy resistances.
Well, fortunately, we got to see it in action. They're rotary cannon resistant. So,
Well, I saw that too. They're not well, actually, no. Resistant is a good word for it.
normally a rotary cannon takes you to pieces.
Yeah, no, that's why I said resistant is a good word for it.
Yeah. So,
Blast is just going to chime
These-
in. I do have a thermal lance, as you see, but based on the fact that the drones were consuming energy similar to how I do, I
Well-
felt it inadvisable to risk it on larger, more efficient creatures.
She looks at you very cheerfully. Oh, that would put a hole in the basic drones. I mean, not as big of a hole as you'd like, but it'd put a hole in them. I don't know about the combat though. I don't know. I don't know how they work for that.
okay.
It
So,
is quite possible that it wouldn't hurt them at all.
step 2. We basically need a plan of attack. It's pretty simple. They're very resistant to physical abuse, but we have actually noticed that they have one huge glaring weakness. They have a communication issue. So, the way we can overcome these things is disrupting their communication.
What? I have to ask, how do you mean they have a communication issue?
They're a hierarchy species. They will continue to operate until the line of communication is broken. They're like ants, like an ant hive. They always, well, more structured. They're extremely reliant on the top of the pyramid instructions for them to continue to operate at full efficiency, and they seem to be. They kind of have a breakdown, especially on the drone level, when they have lack of communication. Sure, the combat units seem to be able to operate on their own, but if we can cut out their communication, we can at least slow them down. You seem to be able to communicate with them with some way, so it's probably some sort of psionic communication system. Technically, we just need to have some sort of psionic scrambler above a certain threshold for them to start.
So, as a thing, because I didn't finish explaining something, you guys asked if how many exits they have a little bit
Yes.
ago. So we got the 2 that we have locked right now. And I did tell them to start building things, because I wanted to see what their construction was like. And they're well, a funny thing. They've been digging into the asteroid, and you know that hole at the back of the area over there?
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, that's that's where they start heading out, and they've been digging back there for a while. It's actually become kind of a rat's nest, and I've been having a lot of trouble mapping it, so I don't actually know how big that is.
So
Well, it's a good thing we're not going back there.
Yeah, we need to get back to the rest of the team and the lieutenant as quickly as possible.
Most likely scenario, we're going to have a very brief moment of getting the hell out. And then we're going to blow this thing to smithereens.
We're still on it, though.
Or somebody is. I don't know.
That's a lot of reason to do.
We're between a rock and a hard place, as they say.
Where's that? But
Pirates on one. Man-eating insects?
Drone species. They don't really have an insect like. I don't know. You know what? You're the the manager in training. You give them a name.
We'll call them drones, as you said.
She's like, oh, they're not insects, I don't think. I'm like 99.9% positive they're not insects. But then again, they don't actually follow traditional... Like, okay, here, she's going to start pulling up some of her research data as she's talking. She's like, look, their design, biologically speaking, it doesn't fit with mammalian, it doesn't fit with insectoid, and... Silko, roll me a biology, please.
I got that, and I got an extra degree if I pass. Nice.
As she's going over things, it quickly becomes technobabble for everybody else in the room.
Yes.
For you, you can actually see where she's going with this.
See?
They don't follow any... They can't reproduce outside of this odd reproduction they do in the cloning vats. They don't have genitalia. They don't have a reproductive system beyond that. They are purely designed as almost... It's pretty clear that they are designed to be produced in vats and only vats. And there's none of the genetic markers you associate with evolution. There's no dead ends. There's no junk code left behind. There's no fat on their genetics.
Which is very alarming in the sense that they're efficient code.
As she's going over it, she's like, I actually asked them to build a facility to make more of themselves to see what their old facilities used to be like, and I don't know where they built it.
Probably inside the caverns, I assume. The asteroid caverns. Oh man, how long have they been doing this for? Just for time frame wise, Siri.
Well, when I first asked them to do it, they set up a small one right at the entrance here, where it's got a few. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I think they were designed to produce the admins. That makes sense in retrospect. Anyway, as for the main one, like that was. Oh, I guess they've been building their rat's nest for about 6 months. They got their initial tunnels and the production area that I first instructed them to build completed in about a week.
Did you ever get a count of how many drones there was?
I thought I did.
Right. Using the materials of the asteroid and this facility. Well,
I say thought because I guess I should have told you guys I have cameras, shouldn't I?
Are these cameras connected to the main system here? Or are they connected to hers?
They are connected to the actual lab systems. Let me just she's actually going to pull up the current camera feed. Do you guys see things in the lab room now?
Let us zoom out. Nothing yet.
Yeah, how about when I move it? Does it update the thing for you? Can you see?
Nope. Let me refresh. Maybe that's just me.
Hold on. No, it is quite possible. How about now?
I see stuff now. That's a lot of boys. But actually, those are just drones. It's not as scary, I suppose.
As they're kind of flooding in, you can see them start taking things apart. And these guys start coming in, they part immediately as they were taking some of the consoles apart.
No, actually, I have to worry about my main focus here. I was thinking of if we could overload the vat somehow, but I don't think it's possible without some
no
explosives.
As these guys are making their way downtown.
I have a question for you, Siri.
She's like,
okay.
Yeah.
In your wonderful studies of these creatures,
Yes.
I didn't get any or most of the conversation you just had, but what it sounds is like they're a designer species. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's the impression I've been getting.
So a designer species should have a kill switch. Did you find anything of that, like, something that literally, if they're exposed to thus or a certain signal, they just
No.
die?
But then again, I didn't even know they were psionic before you guys showed up.
That didn't cross your mind? Not even a little bit?
Oh, it did. But do you know how hard it is to get a psionic to test that with?
I mean, with your resources.
Wait. Looking at the camera. What is that?
That's probably their big boy.
She's like, I don't know. And then you watch as it lifts a hand, and the panel of the locker in front of it rips off without it touching it. Flick of the wrist, and panel goes behind it. A couple of drones grab it and start running back. As you watch as these guys are starting to move in to surround it. as it's going through lockers. She's like, "The administrator!" I was wondering what it would look like.
Cut the feeds. I'm gonna cut the feeds.
You're gonna cut the feeds?
I don't want the administrator seeing what we're seeing. I don't want to
Well,
see.
it's not.
Cut
It seems to be rather focused.
Cut access to the feeds from anybody other than us.
She's like, well, the cameras for there can't be accessed from in there. She's like, I set those up in case anything went wrong, so you can only access them from here.
Joy.
What? I didn't want somebody to know I was like watching them if like one of my experiments in the vats went like out of control. I didn't,
Good call.
Why is he going through the lockers though?
Probably the same reason I did, was to find an access key card. I found a level 1 access key card just by searching.
Well, yeah, who cares about level 1 access cards? You can find them scattered
Can they
in
open
all over the
doors?
place. Not here.
Have you been through all the lockers in there?
Well, those aren't lockers. They're cold lockers. They're for storing genetic samples and As she says, he rips open that locker and pauses. And he watches a pair of crystals float out. She's like, oh.
What are those?
Don't know. They were with the gene samples.
Why?
Why? I don't know.
Why didn't you tell me they were there? I would have grabbed them. Oh,
I didn't think it was relevant. They don't do anything, as far as I can tell. They're just... Well, you know how the crystals that they use for, like, hyper jumps work? No, you probably don't. So they use crystals in lieu of supercomputers for hyperspace jumps and the like, for the hyperlane jumps. And they're just those kind of crystals. They're not special. People find them all over the place.
Which means you're telling me that they have a attuned or a crystal attuned to them designed for hyperspace manipulation, meaning they probably have relinked up access to the psionic network?
No.
Okay.
No, hold on. No, this one I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sort of know. I don't know why they were with the samples. What I do know is what the crystals are. Okay? You use them, you put them in a computer. They're supercomputers. That's it. They're supercomputers. They're great for a lot of things. They probably do something with them.
Well, this
But
thing.
no, they're not going to just magically access hyperspace because they have them.
No, but now this thing has 2 supercomputers. Did you not notice that the entire facility, it psionically took over and just locked the doors?
Yeah, I'm assuming they probably built some sort of receiver into something.
And those crystals specifically went with the gene samples. What else came with the gene samples? What else did you steal?
That was it.
Oh god. All right. Those computers probably, if they're supercomputers, that's the.
Well, I presume that they could use them to install into if they built a ship or something, which they haven't. Like
have you seen inside their tunnels?
I've seen quite a bit of their tunnels. They're not extensively mapped, but they haven't been making their way to the surface. I have been keeping track of that because I didn't want them to go digging out of the goddamn asteroid and being everywhere, okay? As she's moving over to more computer consoles
Get my
here.
dog. He needs to go outside. I'll be right back.
And starts typing away.
What are these ones over here?
They're vats of material.
Okay.
There is so much like chemicals in here that you could use to build the body. Some of them actually look untapped, and going through the info you pulled off of her systems,
Mhm.
it looks like some of these are actually chemicals she had collected in her experiments to try to figure out what the bodies responded to, and these are ones that they didn't.
Did you find any chemical that seemed to cause them harm?
Well, I mean, you get a strong enough acid and you cause anything harm.
Can you do anything from where we are to...
Oh, I just slapped the purge button, and it's not filled the place with plasma, so I guess they broke that.
Can you remotely access the pods to have them either destroy what's inside them or...
Oh,
I
I
already
have a
hit the
thought.
purge.
So these chemicals are going to the vats inside there, correct? Or
Loosely, yes.
that's kind of how they were transferred out on these things. Can I use my biology or just say chemistry roll to try to make some acidic compound to send through those things, so it kind of like breaks apart the organic components in the vats?
Well, it'll certainly destroy the organic components if you do that. Yeah, you can break
Yeah.
them down.
Okay. Do you need me just an intelligence test with infused knowledge, or would you like a
Yeah,
biology test? Okay, perfect.
just go ahead and go with an intelligence test because this is more of a chemistry test than
Yeah, that's what I
anything.
was thinking. Yeah.
And otherwise, I would just need a tech use to initiate it.
Sweet. I'll take my time with this one, but bada boom, bada bing. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it just means that you didn't find the right like coding, so you just need to try again. It's not
Okay.
horribly.
Okay.
Um,
Well, that changed.
yeah, and you get the purge done. It starts dumping acid in there, and in the other room, you hear her going, "Why is there chemicals going to the tubes? Did you just send chemicals to the tubes?"
That should slow them down.
Well, I mean, you're flooding the tubes with acid.
Yes.
I mean, depends if they're using my tubes for their production.
I'm sure they'll be using them soon.
And this little entourage, with the two that were at the door, still mindlessly smacking the give me access button, actually join up. And they all leave. And you watch them all flood out. And she's like, well, actually,
So...
I'm not gonna have them flood out quite yet because we're gonna give Matt a moment to get back. And I will actually take that moment to stuff my face.
Good call.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. To catch you up, Johnny just flooded acid into the tubes to destroy the genetic material in them.
What a brilliant guy we got.
And the creatures, after retrieving the crystals and going through the rest of the lockers, are just leaving.
Yeah, I don't like that.
We need to get back to the lieutenant.
Alright. Is there a elevator shaft that
Yeah,
Silco
right
points at
below
the door
me.
over here. I know we have the elevator locked down. Maybe there's a different path somewhere.
She's like, yeah, about that. It's just gonna hit a button and open it, and it's just another loop.
Ah.
She's like, so, quarantine procedures seal the elevator shaft.
Just try and bypass it.
It's a hard lock unless you're upstairs, like an actual hard mechanical lock. We could cut our way through. I mean, your friend there has a thermal lance. It'll take a while, but we can do it.
What panel actually would open that up from up there?
What, to let us back up?
Mm-hmm.
You have to access the main computer.
Okay.
What you do is you access the main computer, you deactivate system lockdown, emergency quarantine protocols,
With
and it
what
unseals it.
level of
Administrator.
which you're the only one that has? Oh, no, that's a level 2. That's a level 2.
Uh, yeah, no, like no, I don't. I didn't want to get locked down here like that. Not gonna lie. I mean, it used to be research level, but I decided that was a bad idea.
I guess we could cut it. Just means we've cut it.
I mean, I guess the only other option would be the tunnels. I know they have access to other parts of the facility from them. But that's
What
about
are they
it.
like our odds against them?
So,
Like their tunnels?
Well, yeah, I guess they are their tunnels. Technically. I like thinking of them as my tunnel. Well, I did, and then this happened. So I guess I can't think of them as my tunnels anymore.
Blast is just going to move up and begin working on the elevator door.
It just takes time. It's not particularly difficult to cut through. Like you got a thermal lance. It goes through eventually.
And
Um,
I've also got that thermal lance halberd, so I'm not boring a hole through the rock behind it.
yeah, I figured as much. It uses about the same level of ammo consumption. And I was gonna say, getting through the door takes about half a clip.
Okay.
And once you're through there, she'll kind of direct you to the hatch on top to, open it up. And on the other side of the hatch, you find the elevator shaft going up and another metal plate in place. And she's like, yep, there's like 5 of those.
Do we have enough thermal lance fuel for that?
Technically, probably.
It's a lot of fuel.
Do you
That would,
have any high energy yield chargers around here?
I mean, I'm sure you could make one from the chemicals, maybe, possibly. Some of them are pretty energy active.
You don't have any chargers.
Chargers! You can just plug it into the wall. This entire place is high yield energy.
Yeah, makes sense.
He's like,
Basically, what you're looking at time frame wise, if you want to just cut your way out, blast, it'll take all of your clips to cut through, and it'll take about, you judge based off of how long it took you to get through the elevator, day and a half. Because it genuinely took a couple of hours to cut through that elevator door. It's
You
hard to
just-
say fully because you can't tell how thick they are from below, but you'd guess they're at least as thick as what it took to get through the elevator's blast door.
He's just going to, after that first door, he's going to check in with the lieutenant.
Yeah, actually, after that amount of time has passed, she'll pop up on the thing going, good, you aren't dead.
We've had
No.
casualties though.
How many?
2.
Understood.
We've
We've had casualties up here too.
Blast will be like, I recovered their bodies. Recommend you try to prevent any bodies from being recovered by the drone force as they are trying to acquire biomass.
For what purpose?
Building more of them.
Let's see. Actually, you know, while I'm thinking about it, Silco, you've had time to go through those computers.
Correct. Lots of time. Well, not
Roll
enough,
me-
honestly.
Well, yeah. Roll me a biology test with your infused knowledge there. See what info you can hail off that thing as they're talking.
Bada boom, bada bing.
I'll give you 2 more for the time frame.
All right. Second try. Much better. With 4 degrees of success total.
1 more, please.
And bada boom. Nah. No dice.
So, as you've been kind of going through her systems, you've started noticing that she was running experiments on pretty much all of the samples,
Mhm.
trying to figure out. They were small scale. It wasn't like they were in the tube, like growing a full body. Rather, she was seeing what chemicals they all responded to. All 3 of the other ones, she actually had figured out what chemicals to apply to them. The 4th one, she hadn't yet.
Okay.
And there is a lot of notes within her system of it had responded to these chemicals, but only in a initial capacity, which is to say it wasn't the right mix. It had some of the right stuff, but it didn't have everything that it needed. The 4th sample in the list looks to be extremely more complex than the other 3 samples combined.
I figured as much. I figured the administrator might have been the second one. Drones, make the drones, and then build the administrator to then determine what the drones are going to do next, and then have the third one as the defenders. The 4th one, now that could be anything. That could be a someone to do
Communication
complex. I was thinking that, or being able to travel long distances, like someone like a bigger builder, perhaps like an engineer compared to a builder, or a someone with psionics of greater magnitudes to communicate, like you said. But okay. So we definitely needed more complex compounds compared to what she was using.
Yeah, roll me a logic test.
I do got that with a couples. Yeah.
The level of complexity you're seeing on that in comparison to the others, because there is a certain amount you can tell from the complexity of just genetics as to what it's actually trying to produce.
Mhm.
It's roughly on par complexity as your body.
Okay.
So, if nothing else, you're fairly certain it's able to produce something actually sapient.
Yeah. Someone with free will.
Less an admin and more a control.
Yeah, controller.
All right. And that I just wanted to get you info.
No,
if
that's good. That's good information. I appreciate that.
Follow-up question in regards to the time frame and communications.
Yes.
Am I possibly hearing back from my cutter friend?
Not yet. You're not sure how long it's going to take them to get a ship up this way.
Fair enough. But I guess
You can't,
Oh, go ahead.
knowing what you know about them, you wouldn't bet on it being too much longer.
So, what he's going to do is update the lieutenant and be like, that elevator we went through, I'm currently in the process of attempting to bore our way back to you. Estimated time to rejoin is a day and a half to 2.
She's gonna kind of come on as she's just understood.
Only other option is to move through enemy-held territory.
Do we have any idea how many of themselves they're planning to produce?
Considering their insect-like behavior until they run out of materials, or they receive orders from a higher up, considering the fleet that's surrounding this facility, based on the level of psionics of the administrator, they probably sensed the vast number of minds around them. And as they're trying to build what we can, one of our best guesses is a sapient controller. They're probably trying to build up as strong a military force as possible, which means any move into their terrain through basic tactics could be perceived as an attack, and they will throw all their forces at purging it to protect what they're building. So I'm currently planning on boring a hole up the elevator shaft, but as I said, it will take time.
Lieutenant's quiet for a bit before. All right. I believe that I would like somebody to scout out what they're doing. We can make assumptions, we can make guesses, but we don't actually know at this stage. The more we know, the more we can accomplish here.
Sounds good, man.
I don't want you to engage if at all possible. Last I understand, you're not the stealthiest of individuals.
And they tear through my armor like it isn't there.
Yes, we've noticed. They can go through bulkheads with give enough time as well.
And based on what we've discovered, the soldier caste is probably extremely resistant to energy weapons.
Oh, we already noticed. In fact, we discovered they can spit the energy beams back.
That would have sucked.
I'm glad I did not fire my thermal lance at them.
It's clearly not healthy for them. It did damage their form, but they still accomplished it, which was a less than pleasant surprise. As a note, the pirates have picked our side in this particular conflict. For the time being, they are to be considered non-hostile.
I assume that's because when they started pulling resources, the bugs attacked them.
No. Apparently the drones inside their container area attacked them as soon as everything else started going down. We've made some contact now and been moving among them a bit. They haven't been pulling resources from this place. Don't know what they're up to.
We've told the lieutenant that they've dug into the asteroid, right?
Yes.
Have we told him how long they've been digging into the asteroid for?
Good point. As Blast will go, by the way, these drones, as we've taken to calling them, have been boring and doing this preparation and building by the orders of the scientist for a few months now.
That's encouraging.
6 months, actually.
As the scientist put it, it's a warren, a rat's nest.
That's encouraging.
Just passing on all the info to the superior officer.
If you want me to do some scouting, I can.
I don't want you to engage, though. The pirates have already sent a force deeper in. I think they're intent on trying to find the source of these things. Unfortunately, for now, we are. And there's going to be a pause. When she comes back on again, you're going to hear gunfire in the background again. She's like, they're persistent.
Gotcha.
Nothing we can't handle yet.
I'll volunteer for the scouting mission if that's.
I was going to ask, can you two tech heads, with the help of the scientist here, perchance turn one of the cameras into a drone?
Yeah, probably.
It would probably be far safer and seen as less of a threat.
Maybe. But yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea. While we waited for him to cut the door, by the way, Liam, since you said it was
Yes.
several hours and we had nothing
It's
else
a couple.
to do,
Yeah, you can do if you would like to be doing something in the meantime.
I was just gonna be like, I'll be back, and I'll go to a private corner and hop into my forge.
All right.
Yeah, and sort the boxes a little bit, and
Is there anything in particular you're looking to do in your forge?
leave specifically the extra gear that I'm not gonna need, and once there's a mention of a scouting report, I was gonna see if I can increase the my ability to sneak around.
For what it's worth, you do know you can contact your mentor through this, the smith,
I mean, like,
if you want to. I just wanted to remind you you had the ability to do so.
no, I will. That'd be fun. Be like, hey, uh, Chief, you there?
There'll be kind of a pause, and well, you're familiar enough with him to know that him showing up grumbling is about standard active operating procedures. He's like, "What you want?"
Just wondering if
Oh, it's you,
you,
kid.
yeah, just wondering if you happen to know or have an opinion about these guys, this bioengineered species that we stumbled
The
into.
what now?
A bioengineered species.
They're
What? And he'll actually show up in your forge at that point,
oh
very
god, you could do
confused.
that. Wow,
As
that's
he's
hot.
like, "What? You forgot? I'll show up where I want. Now tell
I
me."
know, but geez, it's like in a burst of flames every
Of
time.
course it did. Yeah, so he's like, "Course. How else do you go from forge to forge, other than it's fire?"
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, actually.
What are you talking about? Bio what? He'll listen to you. Like, how much do you tell him?
I'll just give him just the camera feed.
And he'll
Yeah.
kind of look it over for a few minutes and go, "Never heard of him.
Oh, well, they're
What's all this crap?" As he kicks one of the boxes.
oh, Arcanotech.
Burn it.
Oh, I was gonna strip it for parts.
Burn it.
What's so bad about it?
Burn it.
Can I at least keep the swords?
Burn it all. I don't care if you scrap the metal and use it for something else.
That's
No
that
one
was the plan.
cares.
That was the plan. I was just gonna keep the parts.
But destroy it now. We're not here for the...
What's all right?
Arcana tech is blasphemy, as far as I'm concerned.
That's fine. But no one tells me why it's blasphemy.
It's a long story. Cliff Notes version, there used to be a god of magic. He betrayed everyone and almost destroyed the galaxy. Now we burn everything he's ever touched.
There's a lot more where I found this.
Burn it all.
All right.
Got any? What's the biggest gun you have around there?
If you have a rotary gun,
Thermal
Not big
lance.
enough.
well, we're currently trapped on an asteroid, and our ship had to emergency jump out because we're surrounded by the Pirate King.
Oh, the Pirate King's there?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll burn it.
Okay. Well, then, yeah.
Don't worry about it. You might want to get off the station, though.
We're trapped.
Sorry, my condolences.
Yeah, and we're
Oh, trapped by the drone things.
Yeah.
Now it's making sense.
yeah, and they're
Let's go
gonna
and do something that for.
because we were responding to an SOS. We walked in. They were doing some stuff. Words were said. The drone things got free will, built an administrator unit, and now they're doing what they want to do. And then the pirates trapped us in here.
Huh.
And then once the pirates no longer were trapping us in here, those things trapped us in here because they want us for parts.
Huh.
So it's a good time. Yeah.
You get yourself
And
into some stupid shit, don't you?
we're kind of stuck at the bottom of an elevator that has a bunch of quarantine doors. So we're probably going to have to go through the tunnels to get out, which is enemy territory. And they're they're thermal lance resistant.
Use a hammer then.
Well, they're also rotary cannon resistant.
Use a bigger hammer then.
I'm just gonna sneak around.
Seems a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of them and very few of us, and they're very really strong.
That's just more targets for you to kill now, isn't it?
I watched one of the soldier units basically tear up two of the other guys with like hardly any problems in their full armor.
Channel the earth then. Channel steel into your soul. Channel the fires of the Father, and he'll guide you, protect you, burn your foes, melt anything.
It's the first I've heard of this.
It's because you don't listen.
Or you just don't tell me things.
You don't listen.
I listen pretty well.
You assume a lot of what I say is a metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Okay, that's nice.
You're in a big metal place, right?
Yeah.
Start channeling the metal into your body, the spirit of it.
Okay. Okay.
Reach out. I know you got the connection to the earth.
I do.
Focus on it. Reach out through it. And it's not a metaphor. You're actually trying to reach out through it, and it's not easy, I guess. You weren't exactly born with this connection.
Mm-mm.
You forged it, which is good. But it
It's
does.
unfortunate, which is good.
I said you forged it,
Oh.
which is good. Makes you stronger. Anybody born with something, it doesn't earn it. Mm, they're weaker.
Well, I plan on destroying these things thoroughly and using them for parts, but not heresy blasphemy parts. But
You're talking about these. As he kicks the box.
yeah, I was particularly fascinated with the sword. There is a crate of grenades in there.
You probably don't want to burn that. That'll set those off.
Yep. Um.
Well, you could always use the wisdom of the first then and throw them till you run out. That gets rid of them in a productive fashion.
That was the plan. Mm.
Mm,
All right. Well,
I'm gonna ask around about these drones of yours. See if anybody knows.
well, when somebody talked to a cutter about them, they went. The cutters are going to be coming to relieve you of this place,
Huh.
and we are
Collect.
very much in the middle of Alliance territory.
Oh, that's not good. That's another war waiting to happen.
And there was like no room for argument. Like as in, they're on their way. Suck it up.
Huh. Collective's that's worried about them, huh?
Oh.
Interesting.
Well, the person in charge of the facility kind of stole the biocore samples
Ha!
that make these things and then ran off with them.
Oh.
Somehow, through the sheer luck of the cosmos, before they died in space, fell across a secret gene lab, which is exactly what they need. I think there was luckiest moment of century or something
Hmm.
manipulated the event.
Hmm. There's only two beings I know that would do that.
Well, she has genetic samples. She jumped away, couldn't jump again, ended up in the exact place she needed to be to find the exact asteroid to have a fully operational secret genetic base. Like, how ludicrous is that?
I know exactly two beings that would do that. Two.
Uh,
And that they're the only ones I know would do that indirectly. So I'm gonna give you an important piece of advice.
mm,
Think very carefully of what you want to do there. Because somebody wants these things back. And it's either the father or the mother.
mm. Well,
At least
what's
that's my guess.
ooh? Ask her. Do you know this name? Because uh, it was the name that blasts. It started with a Z. It was like Zakrin. So
Oh.
the owner
Oh.
of these creatures.
He's blessed.
Raktal.
Oh, Raktal. You know
Yes.
Raktal?
Ektal?
Yeah. Apparently,
No.
they asked Blast psionically, uh, do you come with orders from Raktal?
Not familiar.
Hmm?
Let me ask around. I'll get back to you.
All right. Well, we're
But
cutting
for
through some
now,
doors, so I'm gonna go work on some armor in the meantime.
just whatever you're doing, keep in mind one of them wanted these things, And I don't know why. I don't know which. But if you're gonna mess with it, step carefully.
It's
Not
kind
a-
of messing with me, Chief, so I can only mess back as
oh
the
yeah.
way the fire and the earth does.
Oh yeah, but what I mean by that is if they want something back in the world, they don't appreciate it if mortals stop it.
Look, I ain't probably gonna have the ability to stop it. It'll probably
Sure
be
you
the
do.
Pirate King who kills it if he's the because he's the one with the ships.
He's not gonna do it. Not if they wanted it anyway. Actually, no. He follows rebellion. He might.
I mean, he'd probably be one of the few who could get away with it.
Get away with it's a relative term. Doesn't
As in,
care
like,
about the consequences is more accurate.
sometimes that sounds like that'd be nice.
They start worshipping Ember.
No, I'm good.
It doesn't stop you from being a smith. I don't care what you do. I follow the father himself. Doesn't stop anybody else from doing what they like. Just
Mm,
just don't go thumping around with the what's his dick? The burning god. Just don't go thumping around with him and I don't give a shit. He's an asshole.
oh, no, that's fair. All right. Yeah, I'm
Claiming
gonna
he's
go commune with the
fire.
base, I guess.
Claiming he's fire. How pretentious. Everybody knows the father's fire. Anyway, off with you. I'm gonna ask around for you. See what I can learn. I can't make promises though.
Hey, maybe if the father tells you if he has a
I'm not gonna
plan for
ask
it.
him.
Oh, you're not gonna ask him?
I'm not gonna ask him. I don't want to get set on fire today.
Aren't you like made of fire?
Yeah. Think about the fire that can burn fire. It sucks. Who
That'll be
does
the
that,
day.
He is the fire that burns fire, kid.
Isn't that redundant?
Yeah, well, it's a metaphor, I think.
Alright, I'm gonna leave.
Also,
This,
it's not a
this
metaphor because I've seen him eat suns before.
that's different. That is that. You
He
know
also
what? I'm not
makes
gonna argue with.
suns.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
He
A
also
star
makes
is so
suns.
different than lighting fire on fire.
He also makes suns, which is. I wonder why he does, but. Now
Bye.
you're
I'll
making
be
me
back.
ask questions. Why are you doing this to me?
I'm an apprentice. Every apprentice, don't you know every apprentice master cliche? The apprentice
Get
kind
out.
of breaks you
Go.
out of your old mold and makes you
Get
ask
out of here.
questions, and we're annoying. I'm kind of walking.
Kicks you out of your own forge.
Oh, well,
Now you know he can do that too. Though you're
just
not
gonna
sure if he was just
harumph.
physically kicking you out of your own portal or not.
I'm just harumph. What
So,
a meeting.
yeah. Anyway, so yes, scouting mission, cameras, and just series. Just making a drone out of the camera is definitely possible. Not even that hard.
Do
I
you
used to
mind
do
doing
stuff
that?
like that when I was a kid.
You mind doing that for me? I'm gonna communicate or commune with the metal of this base. Yeah.
I'm gonna what now? Oh, you're one of those people.
What do you mean by those people?
One of those people with all the fire and the destruction and ooh, the earth.
What do you mean by you people?
I mean, you people.
Well, that's not nice.
Why is that not nice? Are you not people? I'm
Person.
sorry. I thought you were people. I apologize if you're a thing instead. I don't really know how it works.
Yeah, you better be sorry. I'm still a person, so think on that.
Wait,
All
but
right,
you just.
base.
But I thought
I'm
you were
gonna
protesting being people.
be calling you people. It's rude.
Is it?
I have a name. All right, go make me a drone. I'm gonna commune with the base, so I'm not as squishy. And then I'm gonna go into a tunnel and hopefully not die.
Okay. And she's going to start walking down the hall. Suddenly stops and comes back. Hey, you, big guy with the face. Blast, wasn't it?
With the face.
What?
Could you go get the camera? Cause I don't want to walk into the lab myself because I'm scared.
There aren't any other cameras out here?
I didn't see why I needed to record myself.
He's just going to storm past and cuff her upside the head as he walks by.
She's just like, what?
Oh my
Why would you?
That is what we call stupid.
What do you mean?
As he just pipes up, is like, it's far more adequate coverage of things you're studying if you have cameras positioned all over the place.
I'm only studying things in that room.
That leave that room.
They're not supposed to leave that room.
Well, they do. How else were the moving around the base? You weren't studying their behavioral patterns and shit?
Well, I started sticking chips to them to track them where they were going, and they pulled them off.
That should have been a clue that they're doing something that they don't want you to see. So you should have set up cameras all over the place.
Well, I know.
Fucking sense.
They used them as parts.
Oh my god. He's
I'm not-
just going.
like-
He's just going to look down at the person beside him and be like, "Is
Silco.
this what people mean when they say scientists are obtuse?"
I don't resonate with that comment.
Right. You're a scientist. Got it. But yeah, Blast is just, if the door opens for him, he's just going to step inside, reach up, and pull the camera.
Do you want to actually do it properly, or are you just ripping it out?
He wants to do it properly.
Then I just need a tech use. You're a salvage guy.
Any bonuses?
Yeah, this is pretty routine. I'll give you plus 30. Like this is a very simple thing you're doing right now. You do discover something very weird when you start taking it down. It's not really relevant to what you're doing, just very weird. None of the wires are colored. You're used to colored wires because everybody colors their wires, but they're not. Go ahead and roll me an influence test, though.
Any bonuses to this?
No.
I'll give it my reroll. Fuck it.
Only if you want. It's not.
Don't you get a plus 10 from your unnatural?
You do get a plus 10 from your natural, but that only puts it at -5.
It's not going to make it a pass here, but you reroll for sure.
But no, I do also get a plus 10 from self-refinement that gives me a bonus to skills that I'm trained in and stats.
That still puts you at 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. So, touching the wires, you immediately realize why they're not colored. There's a psionic signature to them instead. As soon as you touch them, you know where each wire goes. They're not linked into the main power system anymore. They're linked into a power system further in. And you can feel how it's shifting.
So Blast is going to try to see what intel he can pull from this.
It is just power wires. You can find out how much power they're pulling, but that's about it. You can find out how much power is going through the system, but you're not about to, like, it's not exactly a way to scout.
No. Can I like figure out based on s- the studies we did of the asteroid and shit on the way in,
Hmm.
where the power's being diverted to in the asteroid and stuff like that?
You might be able to do that. Go ahead and give me another
Awareness?
influence test. This one will be at a +10. As
Okay.
you've this doesn't sit. You're starting to notice that everything they do sits on different wavelengths of psionics. This is a very base form of it, a very low power, very nice.
Oh, thank God.
You are almost positive you could track the power back to the reactor and the thing that they are currently dumping the most power in. There are two locations that are getting an incredible amount of power. One is fairly close to where you are. The second is almost at the heart of the asteroid.
Oh, joy.
And then the actual reactor they're drawing all this power from is somewhere in between.
He's gonna be like, stops for a moment, finishes pulling the thing. Silco, we need to hurry back. I have come upon an enlightenment.
Really now.
Yes.
Pray tell.
Everything they're doing is psionic.
As expected.
And Blast is just going to hurry back after the doors close behind us, you know?
Yeah, and which, you know, there's a second camera in there, so Siri knows when to shut the door behind you.
Just comes back. He's just like, hands the camera over to
Siri's
Blatt's
the one that's
character.
doing it.
Oh, to Siri. Okay.
Mhm.
Hands the camera to Siri and is like, looks at the, goes, oh, right. Looks at the base wires and goes, this is this, this is this, this is this.
Siva,
Yep.
what took you a little trial and error to figure out, Blast just points at and goes, "These are these things," and you're like, "Yeah, but how did you fucking know?"
He's like, so
Well,
also,
yeah.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's more of a just a little informational for Siva that Blast has now pointed at everything that took you a minute to figure out and just ran through it like it was nothing.
Like,
What things to figure out?
The wiring. He figured
Oh,
out the wiring.
damn it.
Even a few
he's,
wires that you hadn't fully identified yet. Because of the fact that they don't have colors.
he's like, he continues. Also, I know about where their secondary power core is, and the two areas where they're drawing 90+% of the power.
I mean,
Looks
that's
at,
directed.
huh?
I was gonna say that's directed towards the team, so you guys.
Yeah. I'm just going to look at Siva's confused face and be like, right, the power lines are psionically attuned. I was able to
Oh.
follow them back.
No, okay, that makes sense.
So what I'm hearing is you can lead the scouting team.
I know where the power is flowing. That does not mean I know what's going on in the caves.
what is this power being directed to, per se?
Don't know. I was only able to figure out that it's going to 2 primary locations, and that's where the vast majority of the power is going.
So, thoughts. If we can go to the reactor of this place that's providing the power to those things, cut the psionic lines, do you think they'd still be able to complete the project?
It might delay them a bit because they'd chase us off, if not kill us, and just repair them.
It might be secure position to the reactor. I'm sure if the reactor is important to them and they need the power, as you say, they're drawing a lot of it, then it's probably well defended.
I just had an idea. He's just gonna hit his comm. Hey, Lieutenant.
And when she comes over, there's still gunfire. She's just, yes, busy. Is it important?
Could be.
Read.
You're looking for stuff to negotiate with the pirates for our exfil, correct?
Not at the moment.
Well, do you think the loose coordinates of the power core that these things have built would be worth that?
Maybe.
Possibly 2 other key locations?
Valuable for a list of reasons. I don't really want to give the pirates much, I'm not going to lie.
He's just gonna be like, I found out that those colorless wires are psionically attuned and was able to follow the power signature back. So I know roughly where the 2 big primary things they're using power for are, as well as their other generator.
Find out what they are. That's what I want from you. Find out what they are. Call me back. Oh, shit. And she'll kind of cut it there as you heard something large moving in at a fair click at her.
She's gonna be like, hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
You went through the caverns, right?
She's already... Actually, make a couple rolls for her. Yeah, she has a little drone together, and as soon as she activates it, there's kind of... And she's like, "Ow, damn it." Yes, what?
You've been through the caverns, right?
Several times.
Were there any oddly placed, weird-looking devices or anything like that?
Oh, let me see. She's thinking. I'm gonna roll a test for her. Think? I mean, what do you mean by oddly placed? The whole place was kind of odd.
Things that might be positioned, and he's just going to scoot by her as he's walking towards the computer systems. Things that might have been positioned that could have been weird surveillance equipment or something like that you just didn't have the time to study because you were focused on the bugs themselves.
Oh, the tech. Yeah, I poked at all the tech. I found a few consoles that didn't do anything. Well, didn't do anything is probably the wrong way to put it. I should say they made me feel weird when I touched them. Which, if all this is psionics, it probably was trying to communicate with my brain, but I'm not wired to answer, as it were.
Cool. And he's just going to kneel down and pull one of the panels off the computers to see if there's any of those colorless wires in there.
Not in these computers.
Literally, he's just going to start rifling through looking for colorless wires.
Mm, you find some more in the walls that are. It looks like what they were focusing on was primarily the doors themselves and access panels.
He's gonna try to touch them and see if he can access anything further in.
Roll me a luck test. So, as you're kind of going through the wires and kind of touching them, feeling out like what they're connected to, what they're doing, you find one that, well, first and foremost, you can feel another mind connected to it. One that is definitely of a more has a more refined control of itself than yours. If you're guessing, you have found the administrator's hardline access. You're feeling it out. You're certain this is one part of a very large and redundant network. So there's no one, let me just cut this wire.
Mm-hmm.
But you do see that you have found one of the administrator's access wirings. And it doesn't seem to be currently expecting anybody to be on there because it is just communicating fairly freely along this wire.
Glass is going to start sweating.
So, communicating along that, if you want to start trying to listen in on what it's saying, will require is not going to be an influence test because you're about to you would have to try and translate foreign thoughts. So it would be both an intelligence and a willpower test. And this is just not to actually access it, it's to understand what it's saying.
He's just going to be like, so looks back at the people. Watch the doors, guys. I may be about to piss the administrator off.
Anybody there?
Watching doors for the cameras.
Just wanted to make sure people are still alive. Matt, you still
Still
alive?
I am still alive.
Aight.
Yeah.
I'm just communing.
Oh, actually reminds me. Roll me your casting test. Give me 2 rolls, which with willpower for you, I believe.
Hmm.
Okay, so you start communing with the metal of this place. For one, you now have a very good idea of the layout of the building. A very good idea. You're pretty sure you can go anywhere you want now and not be lost.
Hmm.
2, increase your armor rating by 6.
But only while I'm in this place.
Only while you're in this place. And 3, with that second where you got the 4 degrees, you find that connection, while a little bit looser, does expand into the Warren.
Hmm.
They used a lot of the metals in a diluted fashion from the station
Sure.
here. What is that noise I'm hearing?
Come from one of our mics?
No. I keep on hearing a weird, like, almost squeaking noise.
Like, 1 sec. Can you hear it now?
No, it's not you. It's in my room.
Okay.
And I know it's in my room because my cat was looking for it too.
Oh.
I don't know what it was. Okay, and sorry, I got distracted for a second there.
The horse.
Anyway, yeah, so Matt, you now have a You have now found, and you can spend merit on this to improve your refinement of it, but you've now found you can make a... Is that you? Still hearing it. Sorry. You found you can make a metal sense where you can start tracking where metal is, where it goes, what its maybe what its purpose is.
It's like a
Kind of consider it a tremor sense, only you don't need to tremor things.
oh, good old what's her name? It's a T. Last Airbender. Why can't I
Toph?
remember it? Toph, yeah.
Yes. And that noise keeps making itself in my room, and I don't know what it is, and I have to ignore it. So, Matt, yes, you can basically mental map.
That's pretty heckin' cool.
Yeah.
Cooler than mental math. Cha-cha.
So, Blast, you wanted to try tapping into the communications that it's sending out. An intelligence and a willpower test. This is to translate foreign thoughts, like I said.
Do I have any bonuses to this because I've been
No.
interacting with them repeatedly?
This thing is not operating on the same wavelength of the other ones. It's the reason I brought up that every time you tap into them, you've noticed they're all operating on different wavelengths.
Fair enough. Well, I'm probably going to fail at this.
It is flat on both of them, and it's just go ahead and roll. We'll see how we do. You have a
Nice.
pass
Oof.
and a fail. Okay, so you get partial, is what you get.
Okay.
It is now seeking out, according to the information you're finding, some very, very specific final chemicals. It seems it has collected what it's already been looking for. And now it's looking for some final chemicals. The more details of that, you don't know. Because there's a lot of information wrapped up into this that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It feels like it's referring to something that's just out of reach to you.
Son of a bitch.
This is not the first time you've dealt with this sort of mind communication, but it is one that you've always struggled with. It doesn't use words per se. It sends concepts and images directly. It is something you only see with races that almost exclusively function via psionics and nothing else, which are not common in the galaxy.
I do have an idea for using this, though.
Hmm.
He's going to focus on the images of the chemicals that it's hunting for and start drawing the chemical pattern and shit like that.
All right, go
And
ahead and I'm actually gonna need a logic test from you for that.
Of course, and I don't have logic, which means I have to roll below a 3.
Hey, it's possible.
It is possible. This is to draw it out. Okay, so that means that you might be able to try and do transfer the information, kind of how this thing's doing it, but you drawing out, that's a no-go.
He's gonna be like,
That said, as you're attempting this, you feel a mind suddenly focus on yours. The administrators realized he's not alone in here.
And he's going to disconnect from the wire. Be like, nope.
I am going to have you do an oppose test. Your influence versus his willpower. Where is he?
Oh, joy. Probably going to fail horribly here.
Maybe not. He's not that horrible. I mean, he's pretty powerful, but it's more that you're not that powerful is why he feels so titanic to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's
Because
my...
he's not that powerful. He's got the unnatural.
Thank God.
Oh, yes.
So 4 degrees.
Like I said, to you, he feels super powerful. But as you watch him try to snatch at you, you start seeing that he's not as scary as some of the other things you've communicated with. He's definitely up there. But the guy that was teaching you psionics alone could turn him into paste.
Got it. Yep. And he's just going to disconnect from the wire. Before going, Siri, come here.
Well, she's gonna not, as she actually takes a step back. She's like, last time you said something like that, you smacked me.
Come here or I will smack you.
Blast. What do you need?
She's gonna
Her
move closer.
mind.
I don't like how
Blast
you
is
put
just going
that.
to reach out and grab her head
Oh, look how you're putting this!
and be like, tell me if you know what these are. And just shows her the chemical formulas.
Influence test. Straight. You're not used to doing this. No bonuses.
I'm feeling a 100. I'm expecting to see her head pop.
If he rolls 100, it's gonna be well, you did curse him though.
Hard.
Roll me a luck test. It's not to hurt her, it's for something else.
Of fucking course.
There's a pause before. You shouldn't tell me your bank pin. Or are you coming? Is this how your people come on to people? That's kind of.
This is the point where he picks her up by the head and tries again. You will forget that.
I didn't want to know what your penis size was.
Nice.
Yeah, you got the info transferred over, though at this point she is pushing herself out of your hands and scrambling away and just hiding behind you like, I feel dirty.
He's like, look at the last things I sent you. I'm not used to this.
I didn't need your social security number.
Woman, I have a thermal lance.
Yeah, I also know how to put that together. That's neat. You put a lot of work into that.
He's just going to... It's just that locks eyes. The chemicals I sent you.
All right. Kind of squints her eyes. I mean, huh. As she kind of pushes past people going to her computer and starts very rapidly typing. As at this point of watching her work, you realize she actually is a lot faster than you thought. In fact, you'd go so far as to say she's probably been letting you grab her because nobody has reflexes that fast and let somebody you're as slow as you grab them.
Great.
She probably likes it.
So she's a masochist. Got it.
No, she's
knows?
what's that? Nittore? No.
Tsundere.
Sundere, that one. Where it's like they play hard to get, but they actually are like, oh, this is the best.
You're not wholly positive. It also could be that she's just an awkward person that forgets she can do this. Because she definitely has some unnatural agility going on.
Well, the easiest way to find out would be to simply ask if she's a tsundere, and if she gets pissed off while blushing, it's a giveaway.
I don't know. Do you want to? As she's currently working.
No. But he's just going to step up and be like, what are the chemicals?
Give her a second blast. We can't just immediately give answers. Let's see what
Silco,
she's doing.
you recognize that expression, those movements, what she's working, the way she's working. She has a idea.
Yes.
Oh no.
She's figured something out.
Those are
Something
dangerous.
something clicked with that chemical. Watching her work, and she is moving fast enough, even you're having a little trouble keeping up with it. Just for raw number of inputs. You can keep track of what's already in. It's just go ahead and roll me your intelligence to see how quickly you can keep up with her.
Sounds good.
Because she's not hiding anything from you. Okay, so given her speed, you're still one step behind her every time she puts in an input. However, you see where she's going now.
Okay.
She's finishing the chemical compound for the fourth creature.
Okay. Definitely gonna have that logged.
More particularly, as she's running some simulations, the chemicals in question are for the construction of gray matter. Some
Okay.
of them you wouldn't think to put in a brain because it looks like those should kill you.
I
But
definitely like this kind of information.
but at least according to the information she's running, it seems to be what they were looking for regardless.
He's Blast is just going to look at you and be like, Silco, what are the chemicals?
You want me to just say some random here, Liam, or do you want me to be like, it
These
is?
to give you to put into layman terms for his sake, and because I'm not enough of a scientist guy to not to have any idea what the fuck. These are basically the same chemicals you would put into high grade ship to ship explosives.
He's just going to be like, right. Paige is the lieutenant who's been under constant assault. Lieutenant,
Yes, as you can still hear gunfire in the background.
do you have any high-grade explosives with you?
Always. No, stop that. As you hear over the comms, Lieutenant, I'm gonna have to, as the medic, ask you to shut the fuck up. Yes, we have high grade explosives. We always have high grade explosives.
Damn it!
We're Doomco. Why wouldn't we have high grade explosives? Why?
No, because the final chemicals these things need to create the equivalent BBEG are probably in those high-grade chemicals.
Well, that explains why they dragged off the demo man. Tell your scientist that I fucking hate her. Do you have any idea how many drones have been up here?
He's just going to look at the Siri. The lieutenant says she hates you.
What did I do?
Lots and lots of drones attacking.
Just this whole thing here, you know.
By the way, they've probably gotten some of the chemicals as they drug away a Doomcode demo man.
Oh,
But I feel like they probably need more, right? Or do they just need a certain amount?
well, I don't know. I would have to actually have the reactions like in front of me to see quantities. This isn't. I don't. So the reason I had them start building their own cloning facility is because so much of what I was putting in there didn't get used. Like I would put in the chemicals it would do some of the processing via the coding, and then there'd be excess fluid of whatever it didn't use left behind, which is kind of how I was narrowing things down with everything. Because I would put in, say, sulfuric acid into it, and it would just take the sulfur and ditch everything else, that type of thing. And it was doing that with so many chemicals, and it was like finding ones that didn't damage it to the point where it was no longer viable or didn't react negatively to the other chemicals involved was it was kind of guesswork.
But they knew what they wanted.
But they know exactly what they want. And as she kind of pulls it up and she's like looking it over, and you've seen what I've seen now. These can make a high grade explosive, but individually aren't. And it depends on qualities and mixes. Quantities and mixes, that is.
Maybe they just don't know, you know? They have a
Or
certain...
they know exactly what they want. And they know where to get it from.
Almost like that kind of information might have been stored in some kind of crystal supercomputer?
Possibly. I did access them, and there was an incredible wealth of information in there, but the translations I was trying to get, every time I ran it, I would get a several year processing time. I was actually trying to get some empty crystals to act as a supercomputer for me to be able to actually, well, decompress the info and find out what I was dealing with.
Probably because it's stored in their language, which as a seemingly exclusively psionic race, they speak in imagery, which is why it's so hard.
Regardless, that even then, it can't just be this on there. There has to be more. There has to be more on those. There was too much on that. There's the data was too dense just to be a chemical formula. Could it be a record of their race, maybe?
I don't know, honestly.
She claps her hands. Maybe this was all some doomed race's way of coming back.
Shit.
Explains the big warning I got earlier.
She looks very cheerful as she's just like think about it. You have this massive storage of information that is my system did not manage to process exactly the quantities. If you have an advanced spacefaring civilization's history all loaded onto a crystal or two, it could come out like that. This could be all a preservation of an ancient race. That'd be so fascinating.
Love.
So they have massed. Okay, so this also makes sense. So you have all the drones that are supposed to build things when they're coming back, and then the last samples to bring them back, and then the crystals are to teach them about their history.
Which, because it's psionic, could be near instantaneous.
Well, that depends. I don't know how psionic minds work for processing that much information all at once.
Depends on the scope of power of the individual.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine someone newly born is going to be particularly powerful.
You imply that as though they can't be that grown into full adulthood.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't change the mind, right?
He's just
I
going
mean,
to pat her on the shoulder. My dear.
a newborn child is still a newborn child. It's not like they're, and in this case, it's not like they're trying to build a pre-programmed unit.
Or are they?
Hmm.
You said there were 2 crystals. What if one had the history of the species and one had the equivalent of a personality to download?
That could be bad.
Yes. And he's going to be like, so you've heard all this, right, Lieutenant?
Lieutenant, it kind of comes over the comm and she's just, handle it. Just
Right.
go handle it.
Suicide run. I feel like I'm back on the home planet.
As the other Doomco guy that has been quiet this whole time is just, yeah, well, they at least want us to come back.
All right, I guess it's time to suit up then and go into the tunnels.
What are you talking about, suit up? I am suited up. Unless you've got goodies
It's a
hidden
figure of
somewhere.
speech.
Fair enough. All right.
And Siri says, oh, I got the drone working.
Good.
Well, you can send out ahead of us, but we're going in. So your options are stay here and wait for them to come out and kill you, or come with us.
She's like, oh, I was going to come with you. I want to see this.
Right. All right, folks. Time to move. He's just going to stop, turn back, look at the Doomco guy. You keep Siri alive.
Looks at her, looks at you. You sure we want that?
She's got the most intel on this species that we know of. She's technically in our custody, which means it would be a breach of protocol to just let her die.
Yeah, I guess. And she's like, I almost feel insulted being talked about like a thing. But then again, I'm starting to realize how in over my head I am, so fair enough.
It's just going to be like the amount of baka going on.
The amount of what? Siva,
Just
you were being left behind currently.
Indeed. The bastards.
Just going to pick Siva up with his tail as he walks by.
And she's going to swat at you, your tail, when you start reaching up. No, stop that.
What? Is it only for you?
Oh, you said Siva.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No,
It's
continue
like,
with your thing.
hey, come on, man. I don't need this.
We're under orders and you weren't moving.
I'm communing with the base. I have an internal map of the base, all of it, and most of the weren't. Kind of.
Well, then you can act as a guide, but we need you mobile. And if you're
I'm
going to sit
coming.
and
I'm
keep
literally right
communing,
behind you now. You not hear my voice.
yeah, because I'm carrying you.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to just rename one of these cameras Drone. And I will make its nameplate
This is entirely
visible.
necessary.
Are you going to walk or are you going to keep commuting?
I'm already. I mean, the moment you pick me up, I can't really commune. You know.
So this little guy here that I've now labeled Drone, you are allowed to move him around.
Okay.
That is attached to everybody as well, so anybody can
Gives
move
sight
it.
too, so it's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's if I have cameras active, I will request politely that you not touch them because technically speaking, you can move any camera token. because they are set to the way I set team sight is I just make them a token controlled by everybody and then give them sight. So whenever you see me have cameras, please don't touch my cameras because I don't need you to just kind of move things around.
Yeah, unless
Fair
like I connect remotely, take control of the cameras, then that would make more sense for me to touch them. Yeah.
Only
You want-
rotate at that point.
Yeah,
You want-
exactly. Not move around.
You
Right.
want to send the drone up ahead?
You're gonna want to rotate it because they are.
Oh, that's not facing forward? I thought that was facing forward.
It should be.
Yeah, there's no sight after.
Ah, right. That reminds me.
Get some black
That's very
spaces.
dark. There is no light in these tunnels.
Which
Let me
doesn't affect Blast because he has thermal vision.
give you on the drone night vision.
Cool.
And you're doing thermal vision on yours. So give me uno momento. There you go. And then the rest of you, you do have flashlights.
Sounds good
If
to
you
me.
do you want to use your flashlights?
Of course.
Okay.
Unless I can use metal sense to.
You can. It won't let you see anything in the place because, but it'll let you at least.
Here's an inquiry.
Mhm.
My armor was built by my species, correct?
Yes.
Can I link the vision adjustments for my helmet to them?
I mean, you bought thermal vision specifically for your race.
No, yes. I'm asking if my armor has anything similar because it's
No,
fancier armor.
because you have it in your. It's actually
Gotcha.
in your
No,
genetics.
that's
So
fair. All right.
it's one of those. Yeah, we could put the thermal in us in our helmets, but we already have thermal. So what do we need it?
Right.
So you guys should have lights now, and you go in for those of you who don't have thermal. Please confirm that you can see, Mr. I don't have night vision.
I can see.
Thank you. I was making sure the NPCs have lights running. The flashlights are a narrow beam for how they are set up for their light. It shouldn't be a problem in the tunnels, but that's more just informational.
Does the drone react to the drone?
No, and it is currently it's clearly working on something.
Blast, can you take control mentally or cut the connection of the drone to the administrator?
Not a chance.
Hmm.
It is far more powerful than I.
If we kill it, then it'll probably know we're in the halls, so
Yeah.
maybe we can just walk behind it.
That is the hope. I'm just going to step out and see if the drones react to me.
Never mind, there's more.
Yeah.
They do not react. They're working.
It's just going to be like, try not to interact with them.
So, to give you an idea, this guy here,
Mm-hmm.
he's just got his hands on something in there, which if you direct the drone that way, you'll see what it is. It's a pod. And it just has its hands on top of it, and you can see something moving in there, growing. It's a grow pod, and it seems to be that this drone is running it.
Great.
But it doesn't react at all to the sound of you moving through. And the other one is working on the walls here, and it seems to be repairing. It looks like one of the walls got damaged when something else moved through, and it's just repairing it. As it's from its mouth, it's producing this odd gray paste that makes up the rest of the building.
Joy. There's another pod.
And they're just working. So,
Kind of want to do a Tom Clancy stealth takedown, just like.
you don't know how
Um,
they'd react to it. They're not reacting to you currently, though.
Based on my prior knowledge, which way do I need to go to get to the core?
Vaguely, that away.
Okay. The blast is just gonna turn and start going that away.
Siva.
Yeah.
You have a sort of mental map.
Mm.
It's weaker here. The material of this place isn't wholly metal. You can give me a logic test, if you would please.
Okay. Mm.
And we'll hold
Oh,
position.
baby.
You're not sure what's up. You just know this
Hmm.
place is partially metal, but also not. This thing's just moving along the wall and fixing holes, really. Silka, what you up to?
Silko is curious about these growing pods. I'm just wondering if I can use technomancy on it, or is it solely psionics?
It is solely psionics.
Okay. So
Whatever
there's
communication it's doing with this, you can feel it distantly, but you can't connect.
right.
Roll me a logic test, please.
Logic. Confirm. Oh yes.
It's the body you picked that's the problem. You picked a race that's psionically dead.
It's completely fair.
That's the problem. That it's taken a little bit to kind of, figure out what am I missing? Why are other things interacting with this? I can almost feel it, and it finally clicks. You pick a psionically dead race, you can't access the psionic materials, even if technically you should as a technomancer.
Interesting.
You're missing the half you need to do it.
Right. Hmm.
I'm not leaving anybody behind, am I?
You have gone up ahead.
Matt was taking a moment while Silco was poking at stuff, I think, and Silco was looking at shit.
Then I will hold still until they catch up.
By the way, you can roll me a biology real quick, as you're not going to be able to get too much, but just keep walking. Just roll me biology.
That's fine.
Nothing. Keep going.
Mhm.
All right. Now that you've kind of gotten a better feel for this, kind of what you're dealing with the place, this next segment is really going to be theater of the mind for a minute. Because making a 3D maze in Roll20 is a nightmare that I decided not to go through with. Because now that you've seen what their tunnels look like, have kind of got a little bit of feel of the mood of the place, which is dark gray and why the warm's uncomfortably damp and warm.
Yep.
Um, these tunnels go up, they go down, they seem to twist over each other. If you didn't have your directions via the cabling and Siva's metal sense, you would be lost in here pretty quickly.
Yep.
So, with that said, you do have two options here. Well, three options, really. You have the generator room, and then you have the two locations they were diverting power to. So, where would you like to go? You're sure there's
I'm.
more around here, but those are the locations you know about.
I've talked
I
about
was.
the generator itself, right?
Yeah, but we were told to end whatever's going after them, which means the administrator, and I got the sense that the administrator is at the core area, so that's where Blast would recommend us heading.
Hey, I'm asking you as a team here, so it's up to you
Yeah.
guys what you want to do. Like, you were just told to take care of this.
Yeah. Blast is recommending we head towards the core, as going for the generator would only be a temporary fix.
I don't feel like we're trying to fix anything. I just feel like we're trying to stop progress. If what you say is correct, then they definitely need the generators for their work. They need energy to fuel their process.
From behind you, the other Doomco soldiers just like, blowing things up is the kind of fixing things when the problem is things you don't like.
Do we have any explosives?
I've got explosives.
I'm about to say, someone here is an actual combat engineer that's got demolitions. Matt, you have been handed satchel charges
Yeah, I'm
as
like,
part of your kit.
yeah.
No. Well,
For some reason, Doomcope thinks I am,
You-
cool enough and trustworthy enough to be given a bunch of explosives.
They
So
they
we
did train you for that.
Yeah.
so we head for the core, or the power core.
There's like, I think that'll slow down the general production, but I mean, my lab has a backup power generator.
Oh no. I'm saying we head to the power generator, set a delayed charge, and once we bail, the explosives go off, drawing the attention to the generator, giving us a chance to get to the core and hopefully destroy the admin.
That's my thinking as well.
Okay.
Let's
Man.
out of war this. They need
All
to
right.
come back, I suppose.
So, you guys navigate along. Siva, please roll me another willpower to maintain your connection and maybe refine it. Don't worry too much if you only fail by like 1 or 2 degrees. If you fail, I was about to say, if you only fail by 1 or 2 degrees, it just basically means nothing. But if you were to fail by more than, like, let's say 3, you might lose your connection to the metal.
Wouldn't be fun. I'm on my connection.
You worked hard to get that.
Yeah.
But you maintain it well enough. It's a bit weaker once you've kind of gotten deeper in. You can roll me another logic test to try and figure out why.
Mm.
The building you're in is alive.
Yeah.
It's not. It's that's part of how they're doing their psionics. This is biotech, and it's all biomechanical. So psionically active biomechanical machinery. That's what you're dealing with. Have fun with that.
Yeah, well.
So, I will need a influence test from Blast as well. This is just to kind of track your way through things.
Oh joy.
Once again, if you fail by 1 or 2 degrees, it's not too big of a deal. It's only once you pass 3 degrees of failure that you're actually going to run into problems. That's where you get lost.
Oh,
As we're going to roll a 1
baby.
instead. Okay. You have found the signal, baby. You've been sitting here and you're like, okay, this shit's weird. All these alien things are just kind of odd. I don't get it. And then as you're just looking at it, immersing yourself in the energies of this place, walking through this living machine, it starts to make so much more sense. You can start seeing a logic to the design that you didn't before. It's all designed to direct psionic energies around to make it easier for the administrator to communicate. It's to streamline for a lesser mind connecting to a collective of other beings. Or at least, that's what you start to figure out. Because, indeed, the administrator is considered a lesser mind of sorts.
He's not Big Daddy or Big Mama.
No? And once you kind of figure out this is all supposed to be helping a lesser mind connect more powerfully to the masses, you figure out how to tap into that.
Can I then, because it's just passively helping, try to connect? Would it be bad, or would they know if I tried to connect to somebody?
You don't know. The administrator is the only one you know might notice, but now you understand that even it's limited as to what it's allowed to do here. There's parts of this system it actually doesn't have access to.
Can I do it through those parts?
Yes, you could do a lot via those parts. As you're looking at it and you realize it's not, this isn't like a computer system where access denied, you don't have the right code. It's the administrator probably doesn't even consider the fact it could connect to these. But as somebody with a bit more free will than that, you can easily make that decision. And
So,
yes, you could probably get somebody else in.
so he's going to use those systems that the administrator can't access, either knowingly or not.
It just doesn't think about it, as you can tell.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It's like occurring to you that you could just not breathe for a while. Yeah, you could definitely do it, but unless you're actively thinking about it, that's just never occurs to you. And now you're all thinking about your breathing.
And he's going to use those systems to try and contact his cutter friend.
Okay, so you're going to try to contact the cutters.
The particular cutter.
Well, first and foremost, that's definitely going to require an influence test because You are. They're doing the big things now.
And does the one give me anything?
It's going to give you a plus 20.
Just plus 20 to the check?
And the ability to do it.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, I wouldn't even be saying yes to the ability to do it, so.
Ah, come on!
So, what you find as you start like reaching out to the cutter, you find a chorus. You find millions of minds moving as one. You found the cutters, but you found the collective, not an individual.
Oh, god damn it. And
And
they
as you
obviously know I connected.
Oh, instantly. As soon as you're in, many minds turn to you. And you see a very brief process happen. This is faster than you can react as they assess you, determine your power, determine you're not part of the collective, go, somebody needs to talk to him, go, who's going to talk to him? Eeny, meeny, miny, you. And some greater mind that is almost like a sleeping giant moving slightly registers the request to talk to you, gives it permission, and then turns over in its sleep again. And you find yourself faced with a single cutter whom you're unfamiliar with, which is sending to you the idea of, why are you here?
Unintentionally trying to contact gives mental impression.
Why do you seek him?
He is the one that I am in contact with through my employer Doomco, and is the one
Give
that
me
I know of who has knowledge of the situation that I have found myself trapped in.
Give me 5 seconds. My roommate wants me for something. Sorry, I'm back. So once you kind of send that over, there's as you're using words to explain the situation, you can
Wait,
feel what this.
I understand the imagery language now. I'm not using words.
Oh, it only takes a second then to be like, oh yeah, I'm this guy. I'm supposed to be. I'm looking for him. I was doing it for this reason. It actually just takes a second, and the cutter will tell you that your use is a little crude, but acknowledges that you are trying, and it appreciates that. Um, and it will send back the concept of you are the one that has requested the retrieval ship. As when it says retrieval ship, you will have the image of a Leviathan class vessel of the cutters that is en route to your location. Though it's not
He,
telling you how, notedly.
he will go, or his reply will be, I believe so.
You have alerted us to the old threats.
I guess I have, as they have.
And it sends a mental image of the drones.
He will confirm and reply, or he will basically go confirmed, sighting of drones, image of drone, seemingly soldier cast, image of the soldier, and recent creation of administrator, as they put it, shows administrator.
And it studies it for a bit. Now that you're communicating properly in images, it shifts something in its mind as it goes, not the old threat, other. Tyrants, not threats. Understood. Changing parameters. That's the concept that is sent. It's now sending to the ship en route different parameters.
Or basically send the impression of an advisement, and the base knowledge that I can of the creation that they're working on.
And there's a pause, and you watch as she actually, this one that you're talking to, shifts and addresses something backwards further into the mindscape. You have now, whatever this conversation's turning into, you have now gotten the, I need to talk to my manager for a second from her. Matty boy.
As Blast has seemingly stopped and frozen for a moment, going, I'm contacting the cutter, and then zonked.
Matt.
Yeah,
There you are.
I said yes for like.
No, Matt, we never
you were
heard you,
muted.
unfortunately.
That means you were muted, my friend.
Actually, I wasn't. But whatever.
Well, I
I'm not
honestly
gonna
don't know. No. Well, I don't know. Like, your voice was not coming out of the Discord. Regardless. Anyway, as you're doing this, you are going to be getting word from your master, the smith, as he's going to pop up and be like, "Hey, kid, get in your forge for a second, into your head."
I'm gonna be like, management's calling. I'm gonna step out for a sec. I'll just step into the forge as I let everyone else know what I'm doing.
As the Siri immediately goes, "Ooh." The eyes of somebody that doesn't know what she's looking at, but very much wants to know. And the other Doomco soldiers just, I didn't know she could do that. Wait, management? And when you enter into your forge, the smith is waiting for you. And he's
What's up,
kind
Chief?
of pacing, too, as he's like, all right, so I got word down the chain.
Okay.
It took a bit of asking around. I had to call in a couple favors.
Hopefully nothing too pricey.
Actually, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. Not a problem at the moment. So,
You need a cigarette first?
the long story really short. This could either be very good or very bad. Say, this was a group of species that got purged. Apparently.
It's too bad for them.
Not by the galaxy, by the Father. Yeah, I don't know the details. I only know they were purged because they betrayed him, apparently. And he burned their species clean of the galaxy.
Well, he missed.
He doesn't miss.
Maybe this is their redemption?
I don't know. That's why I said this could be either very good or very bad.
Well,
because clearly he didn't kill all of them. And there's
Wow.
no way he didn't kill all of them by... He didn't miss. He doesn't miss. He's destruction itself. He doesn't... If he missed something, he did it on purpose.
Well, somebody interfered.
Possibly. The mother doesn't always like it when he purges things like this.
Well,
So,
unfortunately.
the deal you're looking at right now is you got a choice as to what you want to do.
Mm,
I can't tell you what to do here. I
Yeah.
don't know.
yeah.
I can only tell you this is the remnants of a purge.
Okay.
Yeah, and whatever they did pissed off the father. Pissed him off gloriously.
Should have
Not a
done that.
lot. Not a lot of things can. He doesn't generally care what we do. And that's all the information I could get, and that came from very high up the chain.
You said I have some options. What are my options here?
You got two options, really, that I see anyway. You could destroy them and finish the purge, or you could let them come back and earn, if this was a plan to let them come back, then you might be able to earn some favor on one side or another. If this was, say, a test of us to see if we would finish his work if we came across them, then it might also gain favor by getting rid of them.
Why can't people just tell me what they want sometimes?
The father wants us to make decisions on our own. If he
Well,
dictates everything, how are we free?
that's fine. Yeah, just sometimes I wish people would just be straightforward with what they want and be like, "Hey, could you do this for me?" It's like,
If you want my opinion, I personally think they were purged for a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but you don't piss him off lightly. He doesn't get pissed at things. He doesn't get pissed at genocide. What the hell is he going to get pissed at anybody for at that point?
mouthing off, I guess.
Please. You have any idea how few priests would still be around if he was just angry at mouthing off?
I mean,
He encourages it
all
within
right.
reason.
Well, I'm gonna go on forward, and if they show me a reason as to why they were purged in the first place, I'm gonna hit that purge button because I got this big, nice satchel charge filled with explosives, and I got that big old crate filled with grenades, and oh, it's gonna be good. Or maybe if there's something worth redeeming,
I don't
know.
know.
I'm not the only one on this trip. That's the problem. I got.
Ah, yeah, that's right. You got a team, don't you?
I got one guy who's talking to the cutters directly. I got a
Collective.
guy.
Oh, they're gonna
Huh?
purge that.
Uh,
Collective, they're that sort of people when it comes to their faith.
I don't. I got this weird Siri person who's a scientist.
Look,
That's both a. I think she's a savant, like a genius, but she's really clueless sometimes.
yeah, a lot of the science types are. Look, I just wanted to pass that on, and I wanted you to know that I got stonewalled right up until I called in a favor and got word from one of the smiths, one of the high smiths.
Well,
Like, whatever this info is, it's either buried or so old that there's nobody left alive to know it.
uh,
My guess, based off the fact that I got an answer, this is old. This is
well,
like pre us coming out of the mud old.
here's another cool idea. Apparently, they may have their entire race's history on a couple crystals
Interesting.
that came along with it. So maybe they are worth saving, or because their entire species has to be grown in vats. They don't reproduce even asexually.
That's weird.
Or that's what the the scientists told me. I don't know.
Well, I gave you what I got, and the only reason I thought it was important was because of how far I had to go to get it.
That was really important.
Good luck. And remember, your decisions are your own.
Yup.
Nothing's written in stone. Not until it's passed, anyway.
Cool.
Go on, get.
Okay. I'm get going. Gone getting. That's
Oh, and I'm gonna be making you work off that favor I spent.
Yeah, nothing's free.
Ah, lots of shit's free. Air's free.
Mm. All right.
Time's free. You spend it like nothing.
Is it free? Is it? Oh.
Sure.
Oh.
If time wasn't free, I mean, we wouldn't be talking.
Mm.
You got better things to do than talk to me
Yeah.
right now.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
Hmm. Blast.
Mm-hmm. Management has gotten back.
Yeah, management's gotten back to you after a bit, and it's just... The ship will be arriving. Do as you will till then.
Be advised, if weren't already, Pirate King's fleet is on premise.
There is absolutely no concern there. It's just advised, acknowledged. It's basically like, yeah, okay.
This is going to be a joy. He's just going to be like, understood. Going to continue with prior dictated objective granted by Doomco Superior.
And they acknowledge because they're like, yes, do as your masters command. That is right and righteous.
And he'll disconnect and page the lieutenant.
And when it comes back over, there's no gunfire this time. And she's like, yes.
Be advised, a Cutter Leviathan class dreadnought is soon to arrive.
Why the... You know what? I don't want to know why. All right, no, we'll. That's good. That's good to know.
Was told to... was basically told by the collective to do what you said and purge, so I continuing to objective, but
I said
figured
to
out what this...
handle it. I don't know what's going on. Just handle it.
Oh. Alright,
I
we'll see what happens.
If you need to refer to Doomco codes on what is and is not considered ethical, refer back to Silco. He's actually been trained on it. Deal with it on site from now on. I've got more pirates to negotiate with.
Well, their pants are about to be in a tizzy based on implications that Leviathan's going to be here shortly.
That'll be fun.
He looks back to the guys. So, what are we doing, people?
Man. The other Doomco soldiers just, I thought we were gonna go blow up a generator.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
told to either, we gotta finish the purge, or we gotta
Finish what purge?
we gotta murder them all, and then, or we gotta find a reason to have them be, kept around in the universe.
You're getting squinted at by at least this guy. I'm like, what?
Are they cool or not?
So he's like, I
On a
think they're pretty
galactic
cool.
scale.
He's like, I think they're pretty cool. I mean, like,
On a galactic scale.
but their genetics are really cool.
No. Are they
Just
gonna
like-
play nice with others?
Or not.
Or
No,
not?
I kind of agree with you there. I mean, Siri, no offense, but your opinion is moot. You heard what I told the lieutenant about what's on its way here.
Yeah. But we could blow it all up.
Isn't that going to start a war?
Probably.
I mean, we are still technically in alliance space, and collective isn't allowed in here.
That's politics.
Well,
Are you a politician?
War is politics by any other means, I think, is the thing I heard in a book.
Which means there's probably going to be big political sniffings and probably a small scale war, and the Cutters will be happy, and then it'll go back to peace.
She shrugs. I don't know. You're right, I'm not a politician. Still, I would still point out that I don't want to purge it. I mean, I went through a lot of trouble to build them again.
I believe the current opinion is slow them down by blowing up the generator to find out what they're trying to do and decide from there. Immediate purging is no longer the plan. But it's a definite plan B.
And this the other soldier like, I'd say it's plan A, but that's just me personally.
How far are we off from the generator?
Not too far. I'm gonna need one more roll from the two of them to try and direct you there a bit quicker, as you got a couple bad turns in there.
Blast.
So another infamy check.
Influence, yes.
Or sorry, habits. Most of the games I played were fucking
Dark Crusade.
Black Crusade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I still getting that plus 20 to navigating this place?
Yes, you are. No, most definitely.
Are you kidding?
Siva, you're the other
Save
one
us.
that's navigating.
Say that again.
You're the other one that's navigating. Please roll me your willpower.
Whoop 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 whoop. Yay, fate point. Nah, it's better at least.
It's better. You're lost. That it took a while to admit it, but you're like, I don't know where I am anymore.
Oh, well darn.
You could find your way back, but you don't know which way to go forward. there's a lot more going through tunnels that, as it turns out, were only designed for you to crawl up than you expected. There's no ladders.
So,
There's hand grooves, you realize after a while, but it's like finger grooves.
Oh, gross.
so I'm
Ah,
guessing
finger
after a
grooves.
bit we re-roll.
Yeah, give me another reroll.
Are you? Come on, Siva.
Matt.
That.
One more, you said?
One more. We're getting one last reroll in here.
Woo!
Okay. So, you've traveled around for a bit. You've gotten definitely lost. I'll make a couple rolls. And then I'm just gonna so I will need from everybody
Mm-hmm.
a willpower test.
Is this a psionic attack?
I was gonna say do include your psionic resistance.
One second. Let me roll my influence here to try to assist you guys, because I can defend everybody.
If you can pass it.
Are you?
Hey, you need to. Just because you fail a roll, you need to. That really bugs me.
Sorry.
How frustrated you get when you don't pass the roll. It's kind of like, that's just life.
Hey man, he's just a bit frustrated. And it's a lot of failed rolls in a row. Do roll me the willpower test, everybody, though. Matt, you too.
Yep. That's the plan. Oh, baby. Oh,
Nice.
pass. Okay.
Okay. So, for those of you who have failed, you feel something, and then everything stops. And for now, we're going to just leave it to that for you.
Sounds good.
Matt,
Yeah.
you passed.
Yeah.
You watch as all of your companions stop moving. They just,
Mm.
in the middle of walking, in the middle of talking, they just stop. And you can feel something having moved in almost lethargically across the entirety of the base.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with that. What do you want to do now that everybody's just they're still breathing, they're still they're still doing the automatic body functions. They're just not moving.
Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Hello? No?
Nothing.
No? Nothing? That's weird. Uh, uh. That's tough.
Yes, it is. So it's a tough question that I'm asking you right now.
What do they want me to do? Okay. You felt this old presence kind of popped up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
poke.
If you touch them,
Blast,
they don't move.
Blast. Anything in there in your big ass noggin?
So, as you are there, kind of everybody else is frozen, nobody else is doing anything, nobody's reacting to what you're doing. You find yourself no longer, well, just you moving there. You suddenly become distinctly aware of somebody else right next to you.
Hmm?
And you look, it's a woman. She's beautiful. She kind of looks at you, curious. Who are you?
I'm Siva.
You're awake.
Hmm.
Why?
Should I not be?
No.
Well, I chose to be, so that's why.
She kind of leans in close, looking you over. Huh.
Are you in charge of this group?
What group?
I'm talking. You're the species here. The
What
built
species?
this.
Oh! You mean the drones. They're not a
Yeah.
species, they're a construct.
And are you a construct?
No, of course not.
What are you?
What are you?
Human?
You've made it to space! Well, how fascinating. And we're going to leave it there because Johnny has to get off.
Dun, dun, dun. Thanks for the session, Liam.
Yes, I apologize for leaving off another cliffhanger. I wasn't really planning to, but
My gosh.
time got away from me a little bit.
You and your fucking cliffhangers.
I may have let time get away from me a little bit, and I apologize for that.
I think we ended on a pretty good point.
Yep. You guys got lost for significantly longer than expected within the tunnels.
It's a shame we never got to go for the birthing, because I was like, all right, let's get to the power station, and then let's go to wherever the most power is going to after that. And then, oh well,
yeah,
that's what it is.
It is what it is. There's only so long I'm going to let you guys wander through the tunnels
100%,
before,
yeah.
You know.
Bad rolls.
Yeah, it's bad rolls. It happens. And we'll be leaving off there for the session. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for giving me your time. Next session is definitely going to be the last one of this particular mission, just so you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm basically going to have the end of this mission and the start of like the in between mission downtime be next session, because there isn't much left to this. I just don't want to make Johnny spend longer here than like he has scheduled for.
There's a lot of moving pieces for going on,
like,
so I can understand why we would be, so no big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take much longer to finish things up, but I also didn't expect to accidentally even have it take this long. So, and that it was mostly because there was a lot of talking happened that, shit happens, yo. And we will continue this next week. And thank you all for coming. For
All right.
merit for this, you will be getting 10 merit.
Cool.
And yeah, scatter. Off to the winds. Good night,
This-
Johnny.